Sports heroes, autographs. Did you really want to get an autograph from your sports hero when you were a kid? I know I did. And it recently happened. And I'm going to share that story with you as we welcome you to Cool Collectibles. I'm your host, Gabe Spiegel. We got producer Luke. We got Tom Brode in the house from Primetime Sports and Framing. And you are now a hero of mine because you made one of my dreams come true. I'll get into the nuts and bolts of it a little bit later, but I recently went out to the Taj Mahal sports collectible stuff over at Great Northern Mall, Primetime Sports and Framing, and I got to meet my childhood hero, Jose Canseco. Now you're like, hey, he had the home run. Yeah. But he was also one of the greatest hitters in the history of the game. Changed my swing as I was a high school player. I was all-city in Akron. I was a captain of the baseball team my senior year. We were ranked 5th in the state my junior season. Anyway, that's all beside the point. Tom, thank you for making this happen. We're talking about autographs today, folks. How do you go about getting autographs on your own? How do you go about doing it maybe the professional way? Tom is the man with all the answers. Did you have somebody that you were really looking up to, producer Luke, when you were a kid and you're like, there's no way I could get, some signed cleats by Derek Jeter. There's no way.
Not
that's
Derek
out
Jeter.
there. It costs millions of dollars.
For me, Grady Sizemore.
Grady
Sizemore?
Sizemore?
Yeah, Grady Sizemore was like my guy, favorite baseball player. I liked him. I liked Manny a lot. Yeah, probably one of those two guys for sure.
Tom, you have anyone and everyone's autograph you've ever wanted. You are the man of the business. You know the ins and outs. When it comes to autographs, and he wants to get, maybe a Manny Ramirez, even to this day, a Grady Sizemore to this day. What do you tell those folks?
Well, believe it or not, Grady Sizemore is a tough autograph to get.
Really?
I bet.
Out of everybody that we do autographs with, I've tried so many times to get Grady Sizemore. He just doesn't want to fly in and do a signing.
You don't.
Certain
He doesn't.
people-
He doesn't do
No,
a
he
lot of
doesn't do
public
anything.
stuff. Yeah.
But the ladies would flock if we had. I'm telling you, that's whatever it is. It's not about money to Grady. It's not about. It's just he's a tough guy to get.
I'm
to
guessing
say yes.
he lives in Florida, Arizona, California. Does he do signings locally wherever he
No,
lives?
He doesn't sign anywhere and anything. He just does not sign autographs.
What are you doing, man? That's money. That's
I know.
big money for you as a
Some-
player.
Believe it or not, some athletes just don't care, and some athletes need the money so bad, and it's just different.
I don't get it.
And the thing is about Manny, the problem is with him, he's got like 4 different autographs. You don't know which one you're gonna get.
With Manny?
Oh yeah. And he'll put the wrong number, because he played with Boston and Cleveland. I had a Wahoo I got signed at the National like 3 years ago, and he put his Boston number on it. And I'm just like, oh.
We'll take
You know what I
this
mean?
one, I
It's
guess.
just like,
Yeah.
so.
But Manny's still
Manny.
possible.
Yeah, Manny's the same Manny on and off the field because Manny would just do Manny things.
Sure. So when you're in
you're
prime
a
time
collector.
there at Great Northern Mall or at Belton Village, what do you get most requested? Hey, can you bring in so-and-so?
Believe it or not, everybody wants them vintage guys. They'll throw it. Well, they want the new Buckeye Satan, the quarterback, Julian Satan.
Yeah.
So they want him.
Oh.
So I'm trying to work on that, but yeah, usually it's the guys that nobody can get to. Or like and a lot of them are the players that were here like for, a cup of coffee, and that was it, because they want them on their team stuff and you can't access them. So it's just,
Most effective ways, though, if you're an old sports collector, a sports fan, and like me, I never thought Jose Canseco would come to town. I never thought I'd ever get a chance, because I grew up in Akron, went to Old Municipal Stadium.
Oh,
He
yeah.
hit a jack. He and Mark McGuire hit back-to-back jacks. One went 5-6 feet right over my hands, and I was like, oh, that was the dream. But the best way to go about getting an autograph from him is not to stalk him at his house. It's to come to people like you.
Yeah, that's the best way to get the best autograph, because there's an in-person autograph. You're gonna get a scribble, usually, or they're gonna side panel your item, or they're going to give you something that isn't really super valuable, other than the fact that you got it from them. But now a paid sit-down signing, you're gonna get to pick your spot you want your item signed. You're gonna get to pick, there's a lot. You're gonna get a nice signature because they're getting paid to do it. So there's just it's something that's honestly more cherishable and more valuable to pay to get your signing done. Like, for instance, Joe Thomas a couple years ago. He's got an exclusive autograph where he can't sign autographs, unless you sit down getting paid. He was at the car show, so they did a quick, easy, initial autograph on their Hall of Fame stuff, and people were not happy. Well, there's no other way around it, because you have to get a real nice signature, you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Because someone has his exclusive.
Because they can sign away
Yes.
their exclusive autograph
Yes.
rights, the
Yes.
names
So
to their.
Yes.
would that just be for the rights for the full autograph, so he could sign just his initial outside of that deal? But it's so okay.
A lot
I
of
didn't-
times.
I
A
never
lot
knew
of
that.
times. So, like for instance, like I'll have autographs with Sophie Cunningham. I have her exclusive. So we tell her, hey, listen, when you go to the game, sign for the kids, but sign a different autograph than what you're going to sign for to
Wow.
get paid.
Okay.
Wow.
Because it protects the player's autograph, the value. It protects a lot. You always want to make your autograph as valuable as possible, because you never know when you're going to need that. 'Cause,
Sure.
20 years down the road, you can still make some money.
Yeah. So generally at prime time, how does this work? Someone wants to come to the autograph session. They see one of these big names like Jose Ramirez coming up soon.
Jose Ramirez,
He's private.
Yes, because, Jose's not looking to do anything publicly right now, so privately. So you can go to our website, buy your tickets, drop your item off at the store, and then, we'll get your item signed for you. It'll be on video. It'll be, photos. We'll take your item.
You take video of them signing autographs.
yeah.
Oh, that's
Yep,
pretty
yep.
awesome.
So that way, for authentication purposes, there's no questions, no, there's nothing, and and then your items can be picked up at the store location. So yeah, if you want Jose Ramirez, I think we have to have those in on by the 8th, so that way we can get them all prepped and get everything ready. But Jose Ramirez, icon, he'll be one of the best Cleveland baseball players ever to play here in Cleveland. At the
So,
end of it.
we're Guardians, Indians fans
Yes.
our entire life, Chief. Wahoo on
Yeah,
it.
for
We love it. We bleed it here. No matter how good or bad they're doing, it doesn't matter. So you buy a ticket into
So you
the.
buy a ticket from the website, and then you can drop your item off, and then we'll attach the ticket to your item. We'll get a sign for you, and then you got your Jose Ramirez signed piece for the rest of your life.
So now you're a Guardians collector, Indians collector,
Yes.
and you want to make the most money off this autograph. What am I giving you? Am I giving you a Ramirez jersey? Am I giving you cards?
A rookie card, jersey, just something cool. And sometimes it's not all about money. It's all about what you want to collect. And that's what makes collecting so awesome, that everybody has a different value of items. So, like, for instance, that Jose Canseco card you got over there signed, to you that might be priceless, but you can go buy one of those for $60.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean, online, because that's the card you wanted signed. So, but yeah, as far as the value goes, an authentic jersey is going to hold the most value. Then obviously you have your custom jerseys, which you can get easily obtained. But here in Cleveland, go to the team shop, buy your jersey, come drop it off at prime time, get it signed, and now you got a piece of history.
Luke, you got to get over there, man. This is the
Oh,
Taj
yeah, I know.
Mahal of. I didn't realize how big primetime was in Great
It's
Northern.
huge.
walk in there.
I walked in. I stopped in the store like a couple weeks ago and walked around a little bit when I was over at Great Northern, and it's mind blowing. I mean, you could spend hours in there.
If we walk in there and by miracle can't find what we're looking for, can you get it pretty quickly for us?
Absolutely. So there's nothing we can't find for you. Nothing we can't get.
What's the hottest stuff going right now when it comes to autographs? You bring in all these superstars all the time here to Northeast Ohio. They fly in privately, secret. They get in over to prime time, and only like the people in the know really know that it's there.
I mean, Michael Jordan's always going to be your top go-getter for autographs. It
Sure.
doesn't matter what era. It doesn't matter what time. He's my GOAT. He's the GOAT that's always going to be. Everybody wants to own either a trading card or an autograph of Michael Jordan.
Right.
Everybody wants his rookie card. It's iconic. It's our whole lifetime. Michael Jordan autographs are going to always be number one.
I would imagine if you had some Jordans, the shoes, and you got those autographed, that would maybe carry more weight than the jersey?
Oh, yeah. Jordan shoes are worth more than a jersey.
Dude, the original ones, pairs like that. I mean, that's
Worth more than your house.
yeah, hundreds of thousands of dollars
Just think, just
for
think.
for a like falling apart pair of Jordans from the '80s. Would be.
Just think if you would have just bought a pair of Jordans and Jordan 1s and just put them away. You could buy 3 houses. Because they'd be like gem mint.
Literally.
So let's say, does he do any more signings? When was the last time?
He's with Upper Deck. He used to sign at the golf tournament. So
Oh.
Jordan used to sign at the Lemieux golf outing all the time.
Okay.
And then he got hipped on everybody. So then he started only signing for kids. Jordan's not the nicest guy.
Oh.
I heard he's a great guy for conversation. The moment you ask him for an autograph, forget about it. He'll walk away.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see it.
Because
That's too
you know
bad.
Jordan, it's just everybody knows the value of that autograph. I mean, if you could ever get Jordan or LeBron to ever sit down and do a public signing, I mean, you'd have to pay them, you know, I mean,
$1 million?
They don't need the money.
No, I'm saying per autograph. If Jordan was sitting down signing autographs and they charged $5,000 an autograph, I'd buy one. You know how many people would show up and still spend $5,000 to get to meet Jordan
Wow.
just because of the value of his autograph.
Wow. So, all right, we're going to take a quick break here, but we're going to come back, and I want to know about this young quarterback at Ohio State and why it is so important, if you're a collector, to get his autograph as soon as you can. That's on the other side of this break. Don't go away. Oh my goodness, we have so much to talk about. I haven't gotten to my Canseco story yet because now we want to talk about active players. Tom Brode, Primetime Sports and Framing, joining us. Producer Luke. We're sitting here arguing about who's the greatest basketball player of all time, and I already know it's LeBron James. I don't care what you two say. Me and Ackerman know it's LeBron James. We're going to get into that in just one second. But I want to talk about Julian Sayin, this Buckeye quarterback. You can see Producer Luke is a big fan. This kid, his accuracy last year was off the charts.
Oh,
No?
yeah. I mean, I think he almost finished like 70% completion rate at the end of the year.
Okay, and what's the only knock on Julian Sayin? He's 6'1"?
Well, I don't know. Probably that last game we played.
Those
Well,
two last
I didn't
ones
want
were
to bring
pretty
that up,
rough.
Tom, but
Yeah.
I mean,
But there's a lot that goes. I mean, they replaced their offensive coordinator. Hartline took that job and left. They had to do it right before the postseason. So
you got Jeremiah Smith. I mean,
I know.
I mean,
Come on.
That's
Hey, he was a freshman too. He was a freshman. So
Can I get
Is he
Jeremiah
really?
Smith's autograph? Can I get Julian Sayin's autograph?
yeah, Primetime has it.
You already have those autographs.
Well, yeah, we have Jeremiah Smith. We're the only ones that did a signing with him after the championship that they won. Private. He'll never do a public signing ever.
Are you selling his autograph stuff now?
Oh,
What
absolutely.
can I get that for?
Well, all depends which item you want on. So if you want it on the team items, 'cause we're the only ones that have them.
Whoa!
You know, we have the team full size, the team jerseys.
$100.
Oh yeah.
I can get his autograph for $100?
No.
No, oh, 500.
Yeah, it's about right.
500 for Jeremiah Smith, who is going to be the next Jerry Rice.
It's about right.
Argue with me. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, what about who they
no,
added
you're
to-
not. I mean,
He is unbelievable. He should have been drafted 4 years ago.
yeah, he could have came out in the first. I watched one of his first games in person at Michigan State his freshman year, and he snagged like a one-hander right in front of me. Then I was like, this kid is. I can't believe.
But he's
18 years old.
ripped and he's fast and he's got hands, soft, super soft hands. He catches anything he touches.
And now they add Chris Henry Jr. to the mix.
They're gonna be lethal this year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Chris Henry, you remember Chris Henry?
We have
right?
his- we
have his
Bengals,
His
yeah.
son, his son
Yeah,
just
we have
committed.
his exclusive primetime.
Okay.
We have him for 3 years.
So can I get Julian Sayin's autograph from you this summer?
We're working on bringing a signing with him. Yes, with all the Buckeyes quarterbacks. Got the old and the new.
Craig Krenzel?
Yep, Krenzel, Cardell.
There's a blast from the past.
I was there. I was there on the field, the 2002 National
All right.
Championship.
He's actually really cool. Yeah, we'll have him and we'll have.
Troy Smith?
Yeah, I'm gonna have all the Buckeyes quarterbacks that are. Well, the one JT Barrett actually is a coach for the Bears.
Wow, I didn't know that.
You know, he's the only one. You know, he's the only guy that's beat Michigan 5 times.
JT? Got all those gold pants, man.
Yeah, because he was there for
Yep,
for a
extra
long
year,
time. Yeah.
Who was the greatest Buckeye quarterback? Troy Smith?
So you know the
JT.
coolest thing when it comes to autographs is when the Buckeyes take a Michigan helmet and they exit out and they autograph it.
Oh,
Great.
that happens at your place?
Buckeye fans love it, and they go crazy.
I love it.
And when they put a little extra inscriptions on there, you know, blankety blank blank had some nice little dots and stuff, and Michigan, and oh yeah, people love those. Those are
that.
rare collectibles
I
you
would
don't see
enjoy
all the
that.
time.
So, how much notice can you give us that you're going to have a Buckeye signing? Do you normally give us a couple weeks, or there's only a window because they got their spring game and then they got training, and there's
Well,
probably only a small window to
there's-
grab those guys.
So we have a Chris Henry signing coming, and I also have Bo Jackson, who's the I have a primetime exclusive. The running back, for
Yeah,
the Buckeyes.
yeah.
You got to say that all the time because everybody says, "Oh, that's not the real Bo Jackson."
Right,
Glenville
Oh,
kid.
it's-
Right.
Hey, his name is Lamar Bo Jackson. And
He's gonna
great.
go
Damn,
off.
his name's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, his
and
name
Bo
is
Jackson.
and you know what his initials are? LBJ.
Nice.
Destined for greatness.
LBJ.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about that. Just put an LBJ signing out there, and everybody's gonna think you're talking about LeBron James, the non-second, goat.
No, you mean the GOAT. The GOAT. Who's coming back to Cleveland? It's very possible,
we,
folks.
Oh, man,
we
I
don't
don't
know
want him.
about that one.
very-
would
it's
love,
very-
I would love for him to
I'd
come
trade
back.
him for James Harden right now.
I would love for him to come back.
Oh, man.
But
So,
may or not.
if you're looking for big Buckeye autographs, pay attention to your social
Primetime?
media
Yep.
channels
Yep, we have those.
and your website. And do you sell some of those Buckeye autographs on your eBay auction live
We
stuff?
do all the time. So eBay Auction Live is the best place to buy all of your heroes, all of your memorabilia heroes, and you can make money because we buy in such large volume, and we take a lot of consignments in for people.
Yeah.
So when we take consignments, it's just going up, and their dollar starts.
It was pretty fun because do you always do the eBay auction lives when you're having signings? Do you always?
We try
have
to do that, yes. So that way we're doing both. So this way, when we're doing auctions live, when a player's signing, everybody gets a chance to make sure their item is authentic, real, and you can watch the player sign it, and it gets shipped right to your doorstep.
It's a
The
factory
best
of
way to
gladness.
know that it's
when I
like
walked
bringing
in
the
there.
back room to, the public.
So check this out, folks. They do these mystery boxes over at Prime Time. It's $125 a box. Great gift idea at both of your shops. And we opened one, and it was my guy, Jose Canseco. So I took this jersey into Prime Time when he had Jose in there. Again, I'm getting chills telling the story because he was my idol. I changed my swing to be like this guy to try to hit the ball a little longer because, chicks dig the long ball. I hit 2 in the park home runs. That's all I did my season.
There you go.
So I got this jersey and I walk into Prime Time and there is the eBay auction live stuff and I talked to them live and you guys were cranking out jerseys and stuff like every 15 minutes and everybody's on there going nuts. eBay auction live, check it out, Prime Time. And then I walk over, and you were so cool. You escorted me over. You're like, yeah, just hang out with Jose for a little bit. And his head's down, and he's cranking away. And they're like, all right, Gabe, what do you got? And I was like, look at this. Look at this. 40-40. He was the original 40-40 member. 40 home runs, 40 stolen bases. And he just takes my jersey here, and he starts signing it. And they were like, oh, you got anything else you want him to sign? I was like, yeah, could he sign these just regular cards because I want to get it all framed up in my man cave. And then I just said, hey, Jose, because I know he's a big golfer. I was like, how far are you hitting that golf ball nowadays, Jose? And he looks up at me, he goes, stiff wind about 380. And I was like, yeah, you are. And that's all it took. That was all I needed to meet my childhood hero. And thank you, Tom, for that. That was awesome. But when you're doing these lives and you're doing these signings, I bet you get grown men acting like boys because that's how I felt. I felt like a kid again. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And the thing is, when you're doing the signings, believe it or not, I have so many people. Like when I walk in lines, they're like, "Oh, thank you," and you have to like put on us like, "Okay, cool," you know what I mean? But it really, deep down, it really makes you feel good that you're helping people.
Yeah.
I mean, you're giving them a
get
moment.
excited.
Yeah.
But I try not to let it go to to my head and let them show. You know what I mean? I'm very humbled. It does make me very humbled to know that, hey, you're helping touch somebody else's life.
Yes, you're providing this experience. Now I kept it cool and brief.
Oh, you were
now,
great.
when people, I bet they come in and they bring a whole bag of stuff. Hey, and you probably have to move them on along because you got a long line of people at the mall.
Story to tell the player. Mm-hmm. Players, yeah.
What's the general, what's the general sense like? How long you should
It all
spend with
depends
someone?
on,
What should you say?
on who the player is. Now, when you have a guy that's the new guy that's still playing, like a Jose Ramirez, you got to get him in, get him out because you got to get through everybody's stuff. Mm-hmm. But when you got a guy like Dwight Gooden that was just there not too long ago, I mean, he sat there and talked to eBay Live and he'll tell stories. He don't care.
Awesome.
So therefore, it's all about who the player is. And some players are. When I have Mark Price back, he'll take he wants to sit there and talk to everybody just because he's the type of guy that wants to remember the experience. Then you've got guys like the actors like Chevy Chase. You just want to get him in, get him out, get him in, get him out. Because there's some health issues. So
Right.
as guys either get older or they have health issues, it's just everything. When you're going to meet your heroes, you never know what to expect.
Right.
And you can't hold your hero to your experience.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't have a great experience with them, and you can damage their, like my guys. Dennis Rodman is my handler. Dennis Rodman's his favorite player of all times, and then when Dennis comes, Dennis is not. You're not dealing with a person that's thinking as properly as as they should.
Sure.
So, there's you just never know.
You mentioned Mark
But the cool
Price.
thing is, you get their autographs, you get to meet them,
Yeah.
and you still got pieces of history.
But then when you do meet them and they exceed your expectations, you're like, come on, this
Like
person's
Canseco.
not real.
Like
Yeah, it was
Canseco.
awesome.
Yeah.
But Mark Price, I mean, what would he take? Back in the days of Richfield Coliseum, maybe take 5 3-point shots. He was the 3-point specialist. Could you imagine if Mark Price played today?
He was like Steph Curry before.
Right.
Steph Curry, yeah.
Right. Are we the only ones who appreciate that here in Northeast
Pretty much,
Ohio?
Yeah, it's he
Come
should- he
on,
should
man.
Get so
Yeah,
much
I don't
more
care who the
respect.
Cavs trade for. Forget about it. They can't make it. They can't make that shot.
Yeah.
No.
I just don't understand.
Not this year.
It's just
Well-
at any year.
You had to say that
Oh.
shot, didn't you? You had to say the shot.
Oh yeah.
Over Craig Elo, Richfield Coliseum, the second greatest basketball player to play the game, Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay.
We're going to talk about the greatest player to play the game who might still be coming back to Cleveland after this short break. Don't go away! Patriots versus the 49ers. This is a Hall of Fame game ticket from the year 2000. I wonder if Tom Bro could get me a Tom Brady autograph on this, because this was Tom Brady's pro debut. Whoa, baby. This is the kind of stuff you have there at prime time. I mean, can you give me Tom Brady's autograph on this?
Yeah, you just got to send it to Fanatics because he's a Fanatics exclusive.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that'd be worth millions of dollars for collectors one day, right? I mean,
Oh,
we're talking about
absolutely.
the GOAT of football, but when it comes to the GOAT of basketball, folks, we all know here who the GOAT is. The only player on the court who can play all 5 positions and win at all 5 positions. And I'm not talking about Michael Jordan. I'm talking about LBJ, LeBron James. I will fight you right here, right now. You know it's true. Jordan was just a pure scorer. He couldn't go up there and block that final shot to win the championship in 2016 against the 71
Yeah, he
and
couldn't
9.
do it
What was
'cause he wasn't
Ackerman?
playing.
That was the greatest basketball team, right? What is it, 71 and 9 or something? But no one gave us a chance but LeBron James.
Michael Jordan was elected
Fool-
to the NBA All-Defensive Team 9 times in his career.
Why you have to bring that up? 4 rings versus 6. Jordan, pure scorer. Okay, maybe he had a couple decent years on D.
I mean,
But could he play center?
Well, how about players wouldn't go play with LeBron? They'll go play with Jordan.
Wow. You got to dig deep
I
there,
think it
don't
might
you,
have been
Tom?
the other way around,
You
to be
gotta throw
honest.
daggers?
Not to
No.
play devil's advocate.
No,
Hey.
no. You know how many players would not play with LeBron James?
A lot
And
of
when
them
you know
wanted
the
to.
inside, I'm just telling you, a lot of, but everybody
What?
would go play with Jordan.
Why? Because
telling
he's the coach? Because he
I'm
likes
just
being the
telling you,
coach?
one guy's a winner, and one guy is a facilitator. We're gonna call it. No,
I mean, I'm a fan of both, but
I am too.
I think championships. I mean, that's how you measure sports. Is did
So
you
Bill Russell.
reach the
So
pinnacle?
Bill Russell's the greatest?
So Bill Russell's the greatest.
So, Bill Russell.
Bill
is
Russell better
not-
than LeBron?
Bill Russell is
No.
If you're measuring championships.
Well, and you just played on better teams.
I think you
mean,
got to
he was
take into
just-
account the era too.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
the
era,
Celtics
for
were one of the most forward-thinking teams of the '60s, playing against a lot of not very good competition.
Wait, what were you saying, Ackerman? Jordan won how many championships without Pippen? 0. Oh, Batman and Robin. Oh, Maybe he had some support.
I was a big
I
Scottie
mean,
Pippen
LeBron
fan.
needed Dwayne Wade and Kyrie Irving to win his championships, and Anthony
all right.
Davis.
Here's the thing: when you just look at the player itself, now one had the eye of the tiger, and the other one was just trying to figure out how to get it done. And
So
I think
they're
LeBron,
both great players.
I think LeBron had those moments.
I think they're both 1 and 2, 100% both 1 and 2.
why doesn't LeBron get the respect that Jordan has? Why doesn't he get it?
First of all, it's the way he left Cleveland. I think first of all, that hurt.
Which time?
Well, the first time, I will. But I'm just saying, kicking it back and watching both players, I loved Jordan, I loved LeBron, but as a kid, I've never seen a player like Michael Jordan. And players that when I do signings with players, I listen to the guys that played against Jordan, and I listen to guys that played against LeBron and played with LeBron. Now I will tell you, to your defense, Kendrick Perkins said Michael Jordan is not the GOAT. It's LeBron James.
He did.
He
I
did.
always like him. He always seems very balanced.
I'm a big
Now you're-
KP.
now you're big Kirk
he's a
fan.
very sharp guy.
Big
He's very
Kirk fan.
balanced, and I think he's almost kind of pro Cleveland a lot of times
Well,
when he gives his talks.
I don't know. He wasn't pro Cleveland. This Knicks series.
No.
No, well, who
You
was?
know,
I
could
mean,
be.
we got our doors.
I mean,
blown
here's the
off
thing.
there.
We could go. People in the world can debate, Jordan, LeBron, Kobe all day long, till you're blue in the face.
Here's a tough question
different
for
eras.
You're the sports guru, the expert.
If I'm buying their memorabilia to collect,
25 years from now.
okay, no
25
lie.
years from
let
now.
me be honest with you. The best collectible between Jordan and LeBron is LeBron James, and let me tell you why.
Oh.
So here's the thing.
Oh.
I'm going to tell you that, in my opinion, I'm buying Michael Jordan. But as my era gets older and die off,
Yes.
and it's going to be the more LeBron James era is going to be the best collectible you can have right now because those kids that watched LeBron James play is still in their prime.
That value's
and,
going up.
and their value is going to get right. And there's more value. As soon as LeBron retires, he's going to own every stat. Every
right.
stat. So that's what's going to be remembered. So your best value is 100% LeBron James.
How can I get his autograph right now?
Well, we have some for sale at prime time,
You do?
but you want to buy Upper Deck authenticated memorabilia. You want to buy things that are. So I have a lot of. It's a crazy story, if you want to hear stories. So LeBron James, I had a lot of when he played at
St. V.
St. V.
Yeah.
I had a lot of the items that was Jeremy Johnson, the center. I bought his collection, and you had the point guard. The point guard's mom used to make all those posters that you've seen, and I have a lot of those.
Nice.
Very rare autographs, very rare stuff, but authentication purposes, not a lot of people will authenticate them because the value on them are so great.
Wow.
Because once somebody puts their initial on that item as being authentic, it could be priceless.
Do you
So I have a lot of those things that are with affidavits from the players, which means more than a person's third-party opinion, because they played, it was their item. When they used to come in my store when I was in Summit Mall, and they'd sell me the stuff right there as they needed money.
Boom.
So
Right there, down
and
the
then-
street
then
from his
you-
house.
Then you collect that stuff and you save that stuff. I have LeBron James's garment from his Olympic that his suit was in, and I have the coolest thing probably is the box that his gold medal used to sit in. You're never gonna have his gold medal, but I have the box that he stood at the platform and held.
Wow.
And
You
his
got it
gold
all.
medal trophy was in. It's a cool piece.
It'd be really cool to have in your man cave.
It
Really
is.
be cool stuff.
yeah.
Stay
How can we
tuned for the
find
next
you?
one.
Primetime Sports and
Primetime.
Framing, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, primetimesportsandframing.com.
eBay Live.
eBay Live. Those
where
auctions.
we sell auctions every day, and we do have LeBron James autographs we sell, and Jordan's autographs all the time on there.
You think you'll ever get LeBron to sit down and do a signing?
Negative. Never
Come on,
happened.
there's always hope.
Never happened.
Always pleasure, Tom. Thank you for being on Cool Collectibles. We got so much to talk about in the next episode. Hope you join us then. Have a good day.